Hey guys, Morgan's Maintenance. Hope you're having a great weekend. It is episode 21 of Guess the Trade. Before we jump into the episode, I just want to announce that, of course, I always usually premiere these on a Saturday so that we can have the live chat and all those things. Next Saturday, I might not be able to have an episode prepared because I'm going to be out of town for most of the week, and then I'm going to be performing a wedding and things like that. So I'm going to be pretty busy next week. I don't know if I'm going to have time to film. So just so you know, there might be one, there might not be one next Saturday, but if there's not, I will have one by the next Saturday. So again, this is episode 21, but before we talk about that, let's talk about who we looked at episode 20. That was Tooling with Newman. He was someone who was just starting up a YouTube channel. He sent in 3 different bags, a Tech MCT, a SBLD, and then also that DP3. We looked at all the tools that were inside of there. He's got a lot of really nice tools, a lot of the same tools that even I have. So what was it that he did with those tools? He actually said that he is a fireman. I didn't think anybody would probably guess that. But does that mean that that's what he actually does with those tools? I don't see many people fighting fires with channel locks and things like that. That's not what he actually does with them, but he did say as far as his bag loadout, and I don't think he commented in the comment section, or at least I didn't see it anyways, but in his email to me, he told me that he used his Tech MCT. That's the one that he actually takes to work with him. Takes that on the fire truck so that if things come up, he has some tools to work on some things. And then as far as his other 2 bags, the SBLD, he said that's his general use and home bag, and then he takes that places to do side work for people. And basically he does the same exact thing with that DP3, but he said he had that geared a little bit more towards electrical work. And I remember several of you commenting on the DP3 that you felt like that was like an electrical side bag, so you kind of got that. So again, I didn't expect anyone to guess a fireman, but a lot of you were guessing somewhere along the lines of, to me, what he actually does with those tools, which would be general maintenance, handyman type work, that he's actually performing with the tools at his own house, and then also maybe at someone else's at side work. So that's what he does with his tools. Today I'm also only going to look at one. So the last 3 weeks we've only had one person, but that's because they've got multiple bags, and I just feel like that works a little bit better. And today we're going to be looking at 3-Phase, and 3-Phase is one of those that comments all the time on a lot of my videos. He's got his own channel as well, so don't cheat and go look at his channel, but I suggest that you do that, but make sure to make your guess first. But he also is usually at the live chat. Now, he did tell me in his emails he was going to be out of town for a couple months, so he might not be in the live chats. He might not even be able to comment on the videos as far as what his tools are and answer questions. Hopefully he'll be able to, but he did say that he'd be able to catch up eventually at some point in time as he had time to do so. So he's got several bags we're going to look at, lots of pictures. Matter of fact, I've got 3 folders worth of different bag layouts, and he's got all the weights and the things like that. So he's got a Klein backpack along with a SBLD. That's the first set of pictures we're going to look at. And then he's got a Stanley Fatmax bag, the one that I've never seen, and it also has some V-swap panels inside of that, so that's a weird combination that we're going to take a look at. And then he's got a Tech Pack MC that we're going to look at. So lots of bags, lots of tools, lots of pictures. We're going to take a look at those and see if we can guess what he does, but let's go ahead and jump into his tools. So again, his first set of bags, he's got a Klein Tools backpack over here, and then also the Vito SBLD. He said that the Klein bag weighs 12.7 kilograms or 28 pounds, and then that SBLD over here weighs 8.4 kilograms or 18.5 pounds. So here's the outside of those bags. I think the first bag we're going to look at is the Klein bag, or here's the side view of the outside of all of them, I guess. So here's a side view of both of those. Here's the other side, so he's got some different tools. He looks like he's got some sockets, a pair of insulated flush cuts, some Klein tools, something or other behind that strap. Then he's got several pairs of gloves on his backpack. Here's the back view, and again, he's going to get all these tools out. So this is the back of that backpack. Looks like it has some pouches on the back side as well. There's some kind of a level, never heard of that brand. Looks like Pico maybe. Also has an O-light, looks like headlamp strap. So we'll go to the next page. Here's some marking utensils that he keeps down inside there, it looks like. Then we go on. Here's all the things. I think this is what's on the outside of his Klein bag that we just saw. So here he's got a fluke proving unit. Seen that a couple different times for a few things as I was looking at different meters for fluke. So he's got that, which also, that alone should probably throw you in a certain direction. Over here he's got, looks like inside of maybe a small tin, he's got some different Vera sockets, maybe some keys or something like that it looks like. And then he's got some utility knife blades for refills, some drill tap sets, as far as those are the impact ready kind, as far as for tapping out things. Then over here he's got a Ting Tools, looks like set, looks a lot like maybe the Icon wrench, except for it's got an open end down there, or not an open end, but a closed end of maybe it looks like an 8mm on one side. So then there's his O-light, looks like that's the headlamp strap for one of his flashlights. Then down here he's got Jabbercut Revolution. So I know where he's not from the United States. I know he's from overseas, so he's going to have a lot of brands of things that I have no idea whether they're good or not. So you guys can comment below what you think about certain brands if you know them. So there's some bits that he has in there. And again, here's a Pico made in Germany. Looks like a level, little pocket level. Over here, he's also got some O-light charger along with all his marking utensils right there. Let's see, if electrician's marker. So there's a hint, I guess, right there. He's got a couple different ones. And then right there, he's got a mirror. So that's the things that are in the outside of, I believe, his Klein bag. We go here. Here's the things that are inside that tin. So there's a little bit better look at those. So he's got a little alligator clip there. I'm not sure what all these little pieces are for down here, because the thing about some of the stuff the work that gets done overseas is sometimes the work is drastically different than kind of the same materials and things that we use. So I'm probably not going to know a lot of things within his. So again, there's his metric sizes of the Vera sockets right there. So, and then he's also got a ruler down there at the bottom. I don't know if that was folded up in that tin, or if he just has that down there. That might be part of his workbench. So, or he's just putting that up there so you can get an idea of the sizes. So here's that bag opened up. So lots of things within here. And I think he pulls out several of the tools, but maybe not all of them. So he's got a lot of this orange screwdriver. Looks like it's a Boddington's Electrical-UK. So that gives you an idea at least where he's probably from, which again, I know, but just as far as for you guessing, that gives you an idea, unless he just so happened to really like those and ship them in. Also has some Gador. There's the Vera Cyclops right there, some Vera Allen keys. Looks like he's got a voltage detector right there, along with something back there in Knipex. And again, we'll see some of these pulled out, but just in case they're not all pulled out, just give you an idea of the layout of this Klein bag in case it's something you've been interested in. Several insulated tools. It looks like he's even got a smaller Cyclops down there, some other ratchets, lots of keys right there, a brush. Going to the next picture, here's several of the tools pulled out, but again, not necessarily, well, I guess he does end up getting all of them at some point in time. So he's got a pair of Knipex flush cuts. Looks like maybe 7806 125. Again, a brush. He's got a Magnuson 16 and 18 ratchet wrench. I don't know what the size the next one down is. There's a Gador wrench. All his keys. There's some keys with a bit driver. Pico 3030. There's his O-light flashlight that fits in his headlamp, I'm sure. And I don't know what the number is on that, what the brand or what model number that one is. Here's the Saber Cut. Looks like it's like his jab saw that takes different Sawzall blades and things like that. Also has a pair of 7 1/4 pliers wrench with the protectors on the head. And then he's also got a Baco tongue and groove pair of pliers, water pump pliers. Looks like the 8224 is the model number on that. Then he's got several insulated NWS pliers. Now these NWS pliers are something that's been recommended to me a lot. A lot of people really like those. I don't have any other than I've got a pair of Irwins that are like an angle pair of pliers, and the NWS makes the same exact ones. I'm sure it's fairly similar, and I really like those pliers. So you can let me know your feedback on the NWS ones down below. But it looks like to me he's got the N-type strippers right there. Also the angled needle nose, a pair of diagonals with looks like possibly a stripper in the head of it. Actually, I did look at those at one time because I thought that would be a good pair to have, but they only come in like metric sizes, so I wasn't sure how well they would strip US wire gauges. Then he's got a pair of combination pliers down there, along with a pair of cable cutters. Again, there's the Cyclops, a couple ratchets. Looks like one might be a small 3/8 and one might be a quarter. So there's those tools. We go to the other side. There's all those screwdrivers. Looks like he's got some Phillips and then some slotted. And then those are still slotted, it looks like, as well, as best I can tell anyways. That's the NWS, those pliers right there. I've got a pair of Irwins that basically are exactly like that. Actually, I've got 2 pairs of them. I don't think you can get them anymore. I used to get them at Lowe's, but that's the pair that I was talking about. Over here is a Stanley utility knife. I think I've got a couple of that same one laying around somewhere. Then he's got this Knipex control cabinet key. It also holds drivers. I've seen that in a few videos. Here's a non-contact voltage tester. Here's a Sonel Mic-5. I'm not real sure. It's got test leads on it. I don't know what that does. I'm assuming it's a voltage detector of some kind, but I could be totally wrong with that. There's the 3/8 Cyclops. Here he's got some sockets along with the extension. Here's looks like the pipe vise type tool, but it just says laser. I don't know if that's the brand name, but it looks like it fits into something that takes it. I'm not sure what tool it would go into here, if that goes into a certain tool or not. Here's a fuse puller, also a couple of crimpers. This one's for electrical. I'm not sure the brand on that one. It looks a lot like my Klein, but it's got blue handles. Here's looks like a kind of an RJ45 type thing, but I don't know that that's necessarily what that goes to. But again, I'm sure it's something along the lines of a tool for something that they use overseas. Here is some Vera hex keys. I haven't seen those that have all the same color on there like that, so I'm interested to know if that's a certain kind that's maybe made special for something in particular. Here is a Falcom tool of some kind, along with a Gador screwdriver with a bit holder in it. So there's that. And then that's all the Klein tool bag tools. So again, those are the ones that are in his Klein bag. Now here's the SBLD. Here's the front side of that bag. You can look down in there and see how the tools are fitting in there. So far, I'm really liking this bag. I really love the back part. So we'll see how well it goes over time, but I haven't swapped over yet to the TPLD. I'm still running this one to give it a try for a while. I'm getting into the tools that you can see in there. He's got more sockets, look like metric sizes. He's also got the 3/8 Milwaukee ratchet, it looks like. A kind of like a punch or awl type thing with a pry bar end on it. He's got the channel lock code blue. Looks like that one's the 8-inch. I've got the 6-inch with the slim profile. I really like that wrench. It's a good wrench. I'd recommend those to anybody. Here is can't tell what the brand name is on that one. Looks like Beta or something like that, maybe. A pair of flush cuts. Here's some insulated screwdrivers. Along with up here, he's got, looks like some Klein Tools lineman pliers. That one's got a crimper on it. Over here, we've got Draper, some open and closed ratchet ends. As far as for his wrenches there, goes from all the way down to, let's see, 8 up to 19. And then down there, he's got a 7 of some other brand. Here is a pair of Armage. Looks like possibly those are some kind of spring self-closing, almost like the Knipex Smart Grips. It's got that kind of a thing right there. So interested to know your feedback on that 3-phase, if that's a similar product to the Knipex Smart Grip. There he's got like a chisel scraper, also the Vessel ratcheting screwdriver with a bit holder, a PB Swiss slotted. And then down here, he's also got some PB Swiss bits, an i5T by Olight. Really good light to have in your bag. It's a nice light that you can just clip on a hat real easy. So there's those. Here's the back side of that SBLD. So he's got something down in there. We'll see it as he pulls it out. Maybe we can tell what it is. And then here's the outside flap that would be like your tablet pouch. There's that as well. So he's got a Martindale electric voltage output. So it's a proving unit as well. Here is a Q-Tech, looks like a voltage detector. Here is a Sonel, looks like multimeter of some kind. And again, it's got Bluetooth, looks like it's got all kinds of things. I've not heard of that brand at all, so again, it doesn't surprise me. And then there's his leads and his alligator clips. And then I believe that's the last picture, so that is his, so remember these because I've got them in different folders. So that's his SBLD. That's the tools that are inside of it, mainly right there, along with those meters. And then we'll go back to the Klein one real fast. There's some of the tools that are on the inside, along with those. And then he's also on the outside, there's his tin box along with all the other things that are in the outside of the bag. So that's two of the bags that we're going to look at. That's his Klein bag, his SBLD. So get an idea about those. Again, I've got 3 folders of his, so we got 2 more folders to look at with different bags. The next one we're going to look at is a Stanley Fat Max tool bag. It's a backpack as well, and it also has some Vito V-Swap, or at least it's got one Vito V-Swap panel inside of that. So that's something else we're going to look at next. So let's go ahead and jump into those, see if we can tell what he does by those pictures. So here's a Stanley Fat Max backpack. Again, I've never seen this one either. He said this one weighs 19 kilograms or 42 pounds. Here's the outside of that bag. He's got some gloves, some maxi dries. Also has a Ryobi drill of some kind over here on the side. We go over here. Here's the side. He's got a Vera, looks like socket holder inside of there. This side over here, a Ryobi drill on a tough built pouch. So you can see that. And then here's the things there, I guess, on the outside of his bag. So he's got the Woobin. That looks like the holster for the E7, I believe, is the one that I have. But it might hold other lights as well. I'm not real sure. There's the sockets over there. He's also got another proving unit, it looks like. So he does a lot of things along the lines of that based on just a couple photos we've looked at. So we get over into here. He's also got some sockets that almost look like they're the lug nut type as far as protecting your wheels. So he might do some work where he needs to protect things even when he's taking it on or off, as far as to make it, not distort the outside of whatever it is. And then he's got, it's actually not a drill, it's an impact that I'm sure he uses for those sockets right there. And then he's also got a voltage detector down there. There's an Olight flashlight as well. So we go into the inside. Here's a Vito Pro Pack V-Swap panel inside of a Stanley Fat Max tool bag. And again, this is probably actually a good idea for a lot of you out there, because the V-Swap panels, that size of those tool bags is kind of a typical backpack. So maybe you already own a Milwaukee tool bag, a Stanley Fat Max, DeWalt, or something like that, but you've got a lot of room inside and you wish you had more pockets. You might want to look into the sizes of the V-Swaps and see if it will fit inside your bag, because you can buy those, for X amount of dollars and maybe add that to your existing tool bag. That's actually a really good idea in my opinion. So I thought that was pretty nice. You can let me know in the comments what you think about that as well. But again, looking at these pictures to get an idea, I think he's going to pull these out for us, but just take a quick look at his setup on that. It looks like he's got several demo type drivers, also some different adapters and things for also using with sockets, and crescent wrenches down there, or what I call them adjustable wrenches, maybe a knife of some kind. But let's go ahead. Yeah, there's the Woobin E7 that fits in that headlamp. So going to the next picture, there's the V-Swap panel off to the side. So back in behind that V-Swap panel, this is what he's got back in there. It looks like a torque wrench along with some sort of a pry bar. And maybe we'll see more what this is. Looks like a hammer also. So we'll get into the next picture. Here's a down look at that. So he's even got foam in there. There's his hammer. It looks like he's also got some possibly magnetic parts trays that fold up. And then here are some pass-through sockets of some kind, some brand right there. Also a tap or a die, part of the tap and die set. He might have more down in there as we look down in that. And then going over to the next picture, yeah, here's what's back in behind there. So there's the dies that he has, along with he's got some threads. There's his pass-throughs. Can't really tell what the brand is on that in particular. Looks like he's got a 3/4, maybe 11/16. Hard to read those. Then he's got US Pro magnetic parts trays. Those are probably the kind that fold up. And then he's got this torque wrench. Looks like a BGS. Maybe it's BDS, but I think it's BGS. I don't know what that brand is. And he's got a wire brush there as well. Next picture, here's the tools that are down in there. So he's got the tough built knife right there. I think that's the one that turns into a scraper. Also, there's that laser brand again. Looks like some sort of a knife of some kind. Tracer pencils. Those are some that's been recommended to me as well. And there's some kind of a marker. There's some more laser tools as well. Not sure what adjustable wrench that is. Looks like it's the one where you can kind of take it out and be a pipe wrench. Actually, I know what that is now. That's a crescent wrench, because I actually own this one. You could flop that around and make it be a pipe wrench or an adjustable wrench. And then this end down here, that's what takes those pass-through sockets that you can see right here. So that's what that one is. Now that I've able to piece it together, I can tell that that's what that is. Here he's got flex head ratchet wrench. That one's by Gear Wrench. So actually, now that I see that with Gear Wrench on it, maybe those are Gear Wrench right there. That would make more sense. And maybe Gear Wrench also makes something like this, but I know Crescent does, so maybe that is a Gear Wrench. But Crescent's got one as well. Here's also some ratcheting wrenches, some different tools by Vera. Looks like a ratchet as well. I'm not sure what this tool right here by Vera is, what that does. I've not seen that one. Then he's also got some extensions, some smaller, like crow's foot type thing is what I call them. Also got some just smaller offset. So he does a lot of work with sockets, ratchets. Every bag he's got has been full of them just about. Up in this corner, not sure what pair of, what brand those are. They look like Rogue Steel maybe. The handles look weird on that, but it looks like a pair of Lyman pliers. But it also has a lock on it as if it's really springs open of some kind. So probably some really high leverage he needs with that, along with some diagonals. There's some more Beta tools. Again, not heard of those. And there's another Gador screwdriver that's a lot like the one that was in his last bag. So a couple pry bars at the bottom. I think that's it. Yeah, so he's sent me a couple pictures of the type of work, things that he works on with this bag. I was kind of iffy on whether or not I wanted to show you because it's going to kind of guess his trade. So I'm just going to show them to you real briefly. You got to be quick at looking at it. So right there is an idea of some of the stuff that he might work on along with those. And again, you might be able to look at those and tell what it is that he does. But again, take a look at these tools. So this is his Stanley Fat Max bag along with the V-Swap. Take a look at those and then think back about that Klein bag and the SBLD as well, and see if you can figure out maybe what it is that he does. But we're not done yet. There's still one more set of pictures that we're going to look at. It's his Tech Pack MC. So we're going to take a look at those, and then that'll be the last section of tools that we'll look at for three-phase. And again, don't cheat and go check out his channel to guess what he does, which I think you probably got a pretty good idea what he does, but definitely go check it out and check out his videos. He's got lots of videos uploaded as well. But let's go ahead and get into the last set of pictures, which is that Tech Pack MC. Take a look at those and see if we can guess. So again, here's his Tech Pack MC. Outside of the bag, looking at the front of it there, we go over here to this side. He's got the Weehaw blade kit set right there. That's in my Amazon wish list. Been thinking about getting that. Here is the Olight Arc Flex. Now, I just want to say up front, out of all the lights that I've probably picked up from Olight, you know, other than maybe the little O-clip light, just for the price, I really like that. But as far as the one that I use on the daily now, that Olight Arc Flex, the way that it pivots, the way I can put it on my hat, it's a little bit heavy for a hat, but it fits nice in the pockets in your tool bag. It's got a slender feel to it. I absolutely like that light. That's probably my favorite light out of all of them that I've got so far, whether it be from Woobin or Olight. But again, all the other lights are really good too. I've not had really a bad light from either one of them companies yet, but that one's my most used. As far as when I'm making this video, that's my most used anyways. So that's what he's got there, along with a pencil, also a Weehaw insulated driver back there. We go to the next picture this side. He's got a Beta hammer. It's a pretty big hammer that he's carrying around with him, along with some punches, and then looks like a tracer pencil as well. Then on this side, we've got the Weehaw driver. That's for all those blades. So he's got a couple different blades stacked on top of each other there. He's got the mechanics gloves. There's his punches. There's his Olight. Let's see what kind of pencil this is. Looks like a ROTNG maybe. I can't read that. Looks like a nice pencil though. And then there's his punches and his hammer. Next picture, here's the inside of the bag. So he's got a lot of similar tools from his other bags inside this one. He's got hex keys, wrenches, Weehaw knife, looks like PB Swiss, Gador, all sorts of different things. He's also got some more of those US Pro magnetic parts trays. So we'll go to the next picture. Here's all the tools that we just saw. He's got a set of some sort of a ratcheting, little small ratchet here. I'm not sure. That looks like possibly it's that same one that he had before that had that little socket ratchet closed in on the other side as well. So there's that. He's got a pry bar there. He's got some Vera ratchet along with some extension and sockets. There's a PB Swiss T-handle. Here's a pair of long reach needle nose with the curved head, and then also the straight head. I'm not sure the brand on those. Several engineer pliers, it looks like, up here. So some combination pliers, some needle nose. Also, there's some that's kind of more like the duck bill is what I call them. Flat, more of a flat needle nose. Here's some sort of brand of like vice grips. I'm not sure the brand on that one, but it looks like it's probably the same as whatever brand this over here is. Not seen those. There's an interesting wrench. It looks like it's a pipe wrench, but it's also like a, almost looks like it has like a handle almost that opens and closes. So I'm interested in what that one is. Just brand and stuff's hard to read. Looks like an older tool that he has. Several Godor screwdrivers, so slotted Phillips. And then also some more small ratchets. Weehaw knife, some Vera jokers. But those are the kind that are just standard straight up wrenches. Here is also another box end like type wrench, kind of like the Godor one and the Kleins that I just recently reviewed. I don't know what the brand on that one is, but he's got two different ones. Here we go. There's Holtefords, maybe is what that is. Almost, it looks like Holtefords. Yeah, I think that's what those are. So I didn't even know they had a set of those. US Pro magnetic trays. There's like a thumb type socket or ratchet, along with a little parts bin right there. Nuts and bolts inside of that. Here's the other side of his bag. So here's the back side. Looks like he's got a Fluke 1587 inside there, along with his leads. Maybe another torque wrench, looks like, Weehaw. So again, looking at his tools, just how it fits in the bag more than anything right here. We're going to see him in that next picture. So he's got a ruler. Looks like he's also got some LED lights or something. Yeah, he's got that wrapped up inside of there. So he's got lights built into it. That's what that far picture is. Here's a torque wrench, it looks like, of some kind. Looks like Norbar 60. Here's some offset things for a ratchet. There he's got a torque screwdriver by Weehaw. I've almost bought that one back when I was looking at torque screwdrivers. That one was the number one on my list, but I ended up, just the price of it, I ended up getting that Vera one for crazy cheap on eBay. That one works in that range for all my receptacles and switches. And then I ended up just going with the Capri one because I like the fact that I didn't have to have another tool. But I would like to have that Weehaw set just because it's insulated blades. None of my torque screwdrivers have insulated blades. But typically whenever I'm working with them, I'm working on non-energized stuff. So that wasn't a big pull feature for me. But it would be nice to have an insulated torque wrench. So if any of you have any comments on the Weehaw or another brand out there, I've asked it before. I know Vera has a lot of people that really like that one as well. Drop that in the comments below. But continuing on, he's got another pair of the Knipex like N-type strippers, or those are the Strix. So that's a lot like mine, except for his are insulated right there. He's also got a pair of needle nose with some cutters, some Weehaw diagonals, also some Weehaw, looks like little small flush cuts. There's a Unilight. Everybody seems to love those. Here is another ratcheting crimper by Presiva, looks like. There's a bunch of terminals and things like that for that. And again, here's his Fluke 1587 FC, along with leads, zip ties, other leads. And then we're going to get into, he's going to, again, sent me a couple pictures to show me what he does specifically with this bag. Briefly going to show you those pictures. Again, might help you in your guess. It might not. It depends on if you know what you're looking at. So there's one of the items that's something that he might work on with this bag. And then there's another one. And again, if we go back, again, take a look at these tools that are in his Tech Pack MC. And then remember all the tools that are in his Stanley Fat Max with his V-Swap. And then also his Klein bag with his SBLD. But after you take a look at all those tools that he has, take a guess at what it is you think Three Phase does with these tools. What is it that is his trade? You probably got a pretty good idea with that, so take that guess down below. But I think to make it more interesting, something we might want to look at is, what do you think Three Phase does with his Klein bag and his SBLD? And then what do you think he does with that Stanley Fat Max bag with that V-Swap panel? And then what do you think he specifically does with his Tech Pack MC? Maybe throw that in your guesses as well. We'll see what we can figure out with that. If you've got some questions for him, make sure and ask that down below. But that's Three Phase. That's his loadouts. Make sure you guess down below what he does, and then go check out his channel. Watch some of his videos. He's got some really good videos on YouTube as well. So hope it was helpful. Hope it's interesting. You guys stay safe. Have a blessed day. I'll see you in the next video.